Good evening, Airbus Cockpit Coach here. Hope you're all well. It's been a while. I'm back in London, Luton, taking the Fenix A320 up to Edinburgh. A bit of a test flight, this one. So we've had a new graphics card put in the sim just before I went away. So I've been away for a little while. So over in Barcelona, and then over in Poland as well, just for the Easter break, for a bit of a holiday with the family. So now back onto it, but we have the AMD 7900 XTX Sapphire Nitro Plus graphics card, which is a bit of a beast, and it's a 3.5 slot graphics card. It's massive. So we've chucked that in. It's a factory overclocked version of the 7900 XTX. So we'll see how we go with that. Do let me know if sound's an issue. Things may need a bit of tweaking. So just give me a nudge as we go if sounds might need some settings adjusting here and there. It's been a while, and I do apologise, but Fly Live is not working for me. Let me just have another go. Not bringing up the data. I need to have a look into that. It sort of appeared the first time and then disappeared, and 4 further attempts. That's not working. So there we go. That's the world of streaming. So this is a bit of a test flight, really, for the graphics card, and also while I'm streaming as well. So I can feel the heat. It's like someone's turned a fan on. Actually, it's just a hot heater blowing at me. As soon as you start streaming with the and doing graphics, high graphics workload, you can really feel the heat pumping up now. So it does its job, but it's definitely a smoother experience, and I've had some really enjoyable test flights with it, just making videos and bits in behind the scenes as well. So so very good evening to everyone in chat. Pavel, MWeb, Ted, good to have you on board. So we're going to fly up. I've got the Perigee. I've had to repurchase the Perigee scenery for Edinburgh. That went missing in the transfer to 2024, and it's a 2020 version, which isn't great. But I noticed there's a 20 frame reduction in the Edinburgh scenery once we get up there. So it handles it, but definitely an impact. So we are live in VATSIM EZ198 Papa today. Let's jump in. Right. Let's just make sure things are working first before we do anything. I always give everything a bit of a nudge to make sure everything's connected up. So, and there's our first problem. Engine master 1's on. That shouldn't be there. Bottles are idle. Gear lever, wipers, and battery voltages are good. Let's get the bird fired up. Hey Gary, good evening to you, and welcome on board. The FCU is working as well. I've just ordered the Winwing MCDU as well, so I did that today. So that's on its way, hopefully sometime soon. Wait for our warning computers to come alive. In the meantime, we'll get our flight plan pulled in. Hatchington, hello to you. I hope you're getting on okay with the AMD setup. Right, looks like we've got the right plan, yes. Been on runway 7 here, as I landed runway 7 here the other day at Luton, so yep, still on 7s with the wind. So let's have a look. We're looking at 177 passengers, 2.6 on the cargo, 5.1 on the block. Fuel. We'll get GSX hopefully doing its thing. Wind wing is great, excellent, good news. The only sound side I thought of that is, well, obviously I click around here and on stream you can see what I'm doing. If I'm punching in buttons off a piece of hardware on my desk, it may not be so clear as to what I'm doing. I've got to say, in the sim, when you look at the MCDU, it's much smaller than it is in real life. It's a little bit wider, so it's a bit of a larger unit than it appears, certainly on my screen anyway. So Hatchington, I don't know if you had what you think it is, but if it's real size, I presume it is. It's a little bit larger than it appears, a little bit wider, a little bit chunkier. That's how it is in the real world. Right, let's just do some checks with just our calls, crew supply, AVR test, and control on. It's all good. That's appropriate for the stage of flight. That into captain. Hey Terry, good evening to you. MCD on back order. Oh, okay. I was looking at the whole double EFIS whole display, sort of sitting here with my mini FCU thinking, I've got that, it works, but I could add, yeah, I don't know, I almost did today. Put it that way. Alright, let's test the fire on the MCU. Good test, and we'll do engine 1 while here. Whips, lights, master warning, ECAM, pedestal, blunt, and engine 2. Lights, master warnings, ECAM, pedestal. Very good tests. Buttons are more flimsy than they, at least you hope they are. Alright, noted. Okay. For the price, I thought the price was quite reasonable. Was postage included? Because when I ordered my mini FCU, I got stung by a great big 60 quid bill that came through about a month later from FedEx. Let's just have a look outside, make sure we're refueling. We are, excellent. Bring up our flight plan. So, cost index 5, 320 for the cruise today, expecting forecast minus 54 up there. Tropo's at 35. Interesting to see what our shear rate is. 3.5 top of climb. Okay. Usually when you're below the tropo, you get a bit more turbulence. You can expect higher shear rates, but that's not bad. The departing 07, only 2 Charlie. We need to watch this. When I've departed here, it doesn't always make the turn in the sim, so there's a bit of a right turn, which is a bit of a catch. We need to keep an eye on that. Only Trent Pole Hill. Indit 1 Echo into 06 at Edinburgh. 0406 knots, Edinburgh 020. Visibility is decreasing with light rain showers broken at 1400 feet, and then later in that's tomorrow. They've got 210 15 gusting 25. There's a worsening picture tomorrow, not too nice up there. Alternate of Manchester, all good there. Prestwick. Later on in the day, again the wind's picking up, so be wary of that. And here at Luton, 110 at 5 knots, all the 9s, so good visibility, 15 degrees, 1023. Excellent. Okay, so nothing to worry about in the weather. Nothing that scares me. Dive into our box. Should really have our radio set up over on. See what that's set up over there. Oh, we got VHF2, so we should be monitoring VHF2 on the emergency frequency, the stress 1215 on the other side. We turn on cabin. Sure, I think this volume control allows you to hear what's in the cabin being said, so I'll crank that up. Can't quite remember myself, to be honest. Been a while. So I thought we'd, in the chat, we're chatting in the members area, setting up a members group flight, so from Edinburgh. I thought I'll position the aircraft. I'll take the aircraft up, position it for that. Oh, that's a bit of boarding music. Okay. 1908 upper. Cost index 5. Expired. To file a new flight plan revised. Okay. We've got ATC online then. Sending me this information. Well, there's no ATC online. We change runway. Stop block time. Is that just if possible? If possible. Yeah. Not possible. I'm busy. Oh, I acknowledge it. No ATC online here at Luton. I'm not sure who we're quite speaking to, but I've not seen that before. Not in the sim anyway. Minus 56, unless there's a controller online. Okay, that's about correct. 385, 396. And put in our winds. Have we got a prelim plan? Leave messages, load sheets, prelim.
Good evening.
Okay, thanks Ted. What's to do with the filed slot time on that sim? Are they being hard on slot times now, are they? That's right. It's realistic. I'll just make a note of the Mach toe there of 30.2. Trim setting.
Good evening.
We've got 60.8 on the zero fuel.
Welcome on board.
And we've got a 31.6. And we're looking for 5.1 tons, wasn't it? 5.1 fuel. No, it was just 5. That's correct. I saw 5.1 somewhere, so let's just throw in 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight. Please place your large bags into the overhead lockers.
So we can start to just throw these figures in the prelim, just to make sure
Good evening.
what we're planning to do is going to work before we get too far down the loading route.
If you are seated in an emergency exit row or a front row bulkhead seat, all of your items must be placed into an overhead
6
locker.
Indit 1 Echo.
Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat.
Okay, so
To help
distance,
ensure
so
a timely
304.
departure, we would kindly ask that you
Like
keep
discrepancy
the aisle
there,
clear,
isn't there?
enabling all remaining
It's
customers to
290.
Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service.
We'll run
Thank
through
you
the
for
pan.
observing this policy.
Go to the fuel prediction. 1.1, 2.8. We're working on fuel at the moment. Alternates. Just throw that in as well, make sure that's accurate. .6. And we've got in 1.8. Only an extra 4 minutes at the moment. Accept that.
This way, please.
Bring up some charts.
Welcome on board.
Off 07,
This way, please.
3.4, right turn, left turn, sorry.
Good evening.
6,000. What do pilots talk about during a 3+ hour long flight? All sorts. You'd be surprised. Gareth, you'll be surprised. Moan about things, politics, economy.
Good evening. Yes, you're boarding us.
How overworked we are. We need a holiday.
Hello.
Doing it the weekend. Well in. Let's check this. Slight discrepancy.
Good evening.
Go. In rev.
Hello. This way, please. Good evening.
Back.
Good evening.
I think all are very familiar. This route.
Hello.
I can't say how many times I've flown this one.
Hello. Welcome on board. Hello. Hello.
Okay, happy with the flight plan. 8304, 55 minutes. Anything we need in there for our departure in terms of the rad nav? We get pretty much straight into a 2000 MSA zone. Get out. We just need to be wary. We're coming back in. We're in the 2200 MSA zone. We could go in and mark those. the LUT.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight. Please place your large bags into the overhead lockers, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags,
It's the line we want.
duty-free and loose items of clothing. If you
So
are
we're in the
seated
lower MSA side here.
or a front
2,000,
row bulkhead,
2,000, 200 as we
your
come back in if we need
items
to come back
must
into
be
Luton.
placed into an overhead locker. Once you have safely stowed your cabin
Also
bags,
put another one in
please
for
take your seat. To help us ensure an on-time departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling
runway
all
heading.
remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure.
Okay, so we
No
pop an engine.
service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Good evening. Good evening.
Gareth, it depends on the load that's required on the yellow side. So the PTU is a bit cleverer
Good evening.
than just constantly churning power through, but it can do. So if, for example, we pump the brakes, use brake pressure, or there's something that we change on the yellow side that uses some hydraulics, it will keep going. And generally during taxi you are using a fair bit, but its logic is that if the hydraulic lines are fairly stationary, the pressure is locked within it if you're not using it, and the PTU won't necessarily pump. So it depends on the circumstances of every individual flight.
May I see your boarding pass?
I'd be surprised if it means that they've not turned on the pump, 'cause that's part of standard operating procedures with Airbus, loan company SOPs. So
Good evening. Hello.
secondary, copy the active.
Good evening.
Put in a bit of a engine out procedure
Good evening.
with a hold in case we need it. See that there? So we go straight out and hold 20 miles. Sort ourselves out, we need it. So that's ready to go. Come down here. We can also select we could put in a new arrival here, but yeah, we'll do it. It's the correct thing to do. ILS 07. Noted. Also in there as well. Hey Chris, good evening to you. Okay, rad and nav, I think. Nothing really in there I need to put in for this one. Need to firm up those loading figures. We're still boarding, as we can see outside. The passengers coming in. Hey Lee, thanks for the videos. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I do enjoy making the odd video, so glad people are finding them useful. Bamford up here, that's where I learnt to fly. The Golf Tango Charlie.
Good evening.
Alright, let's get our stop climb in of 6,000. Put in my mini FCU.
May I see your boarding pass?
the Magic Bravo pressure. He's saying 1023. I think that's what we read back. We'll check that. 023 it is. We'll refresh. 302. All the nines. No cloud. 14 degrees.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight. Please place your large bags.
I'm going to leave the
overhead
performance data
lockers,
until
wheels
we're loaded.
first, and keep your small
Won't take
items
long to
under the
work
seat
through.
in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. If you are seated in an emergency exit row or a front row bulkhead seat, all of your items.
It's kind of how the light was maybe half an hour ago. I'm not too far from the airport myself, so it's not that bright now, I can assure you. I haven't had a chance to see Chase plane. No. That's one I still need to cover off. My front door not open. People walking through. The last of the passengers. Good on that side. Come on, hurry along. The 7900 XTX is holding up very well. I'm very pleased with it. I'm just worried about driver crashes though. I was using FSI panel. That was crashing it, but that's to do with FSI panel, I think, not the driver. So, fingers crossed. That's the only thing I fear is a driver crash. Aircraft loaded.
Cabin crew boarding is now complete. Any remaining ground crew, please leave the aircraft.
Now dry today. We'll go config 1+F and two packs off. I think load sheet 65 930.2. I think weather calculate, and shall we go got Alpha 1 in here? Not got Alpha 1 in here. We'll go full length, shall we? 27, 27, 31. 1 down, 4 flexing 58. Seems sensible. Obviously, in the real world, first officer will be doing their first checks as well, and we'll be verifying that information. Clean speed 218. 217. That'll just be a rounding up difference causing that. I'll be looking for big changes there between numbers. So, load sheets come in compliance with edition 1, so there's no changes. If there are changes, you see forward slashes against the bits that have changed. The 65.9, 177 plus 5. Mac tow remains at 30.2, 1.6 on the zero fuel weight, set that. Fueling tanks 5176, 5180, checked. Excellent. Gareth, yes, I am a DERA qualified. That may change. I think I've got Innsbruck coming in again. I've been off Innsbruck for maybe 12 months or so, but I've seen it come into my sim session slots in September. That may still change, but it's a little way off from that. But yes, currently certified for Madeira. Excellent. So we're good to go, I think. Down here. Check the IRS system. exactly. Told you I was in the ALO control. Yeah, I will check out Chase Plane. I will do that. ES6 working. What's flashing? Scaring me. Auto load. It might appear later. Well, that's great. Not going to help me now, is it? That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? So, where's my Kutal? Oh. It feels like 50% of the time, Gareth, I've had to divert. It feels like that. What's going on? I'm just looking at my... I think I spend as much time in Porto Santo as I have Madeira when flying to Madeira. We're not doing very well with GSX. We may have to do the old-fashioned EFB pushback. This is a great test of our piloting skills. Right, we need to get the AD one, don't we? See, this is why we need first officers. Beacon on already. Now we're back on full reverse. I've been on a plane that's done that. At Zurich, as a passenger. This is why I haven't purchased MS 2024 yet. I mean, this, to be honest, this could be me. I've probably got updates to do. I've had the system off for, you know why. More. I've had a very good 2024 experience, to be honest. Hey, APU's online. Well, this guy here looks like he wants to sort out a pushback.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Oh, he wants to push us back. Right, that's fine. Crack on. All good. I must remember I'm on Batson. I've got anybody else around. Very quiet. Where's everybody today? All flying their new 777s, I guess. There are only people here on the ground at the moment. Hope your neighbour's an easy captain. This yeah, make the most of that. Wait for word from ground. In the meantime, do our before start checks. So takeoff data is confirmed 27/27/31. Windows closed. Doors closed, and make sure that's locked there on the cockpit, and our doors here are closed, not yet armed. That happens in the push in the sim, and our beacon is on. Force start checklist complete. They're waiting for me to disconnect anything. No, oh, they're waiting for me to do anything. What's going on out there? Got the pin in. This is where we're going to have problems, isn't it? Because you shove the pin in. Now we can't confirm our push direction. Well, that's a bummer. My Kutal. Yeah. Should do, although he's got that pin in, so is that going to be a nuisance to me or not? Let me just turn GSX there. Let's have a look. That's still... Let's say we connect tug. Let's find this scooch out. Right. It's not even active, Hotel. Not there. If I start that, then go into Task Manager. Start. There we go. Right. Oh. That would have been uncomfortable. Nothing to see there. Right, let's see here if we can actually get out there. See, going back in, it's not working, is it? Right, we're going to have to scrap the GSX idea. Let's get a tug on that way. Nobody around, there's nobody on that spy, so we're going to imaginary tug. Brake released. Let's just verify that. Yep. See if we can get the bearing. We're going, right.
Cabin crew,
And while we're doing that, we will start. Down. Which way are we facing? This map sorted out. Okay, finally, push back. Sorry about that. I'll look into these issues.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we are about to demonstrate the safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you.
Don't mark me on my pushback skills, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Airbus. Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life
Gone a bit too
jackets,
fast here and getting distracted.
brace position,
Stop.
which you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on
right
this
there.
aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to
Looking
you.
out the window.
Please be
Right,
aware
starting to.
the nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened whenever the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air
Chris
supply
probably
fails,
won't do the return flight, although I was planning to do it as a members group flight, because a few people have been talking about that in the Discord.
Nose and mouth, and breathe normally.
I can position the aircraft to Edinburgh for that.
With the strap, pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tape.
Okay, engine 2 avail.
Click together. Pull the strap to adjust.
Don't need that.
Do not inflate
Any
the
more?
life jacket inside
That's-
the aircraft. When outside,
Engine
inflate
anti-ice
the
not
toggle
required.
with the toggle. If it
We'll get
fails,
terrain on the
inflate
first
or
officer
leave
side.
popping up. Blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be
That's
stowed,
config 1 plus
armrest
F.
down, window blinds open,
Is on 2000.
fastened.
Right
Further
plan mode.
information regarding your safety on board can be found in the info
And
magazine. We hope you have a
30.2.
great flight.
What we need. Be pretty much there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be dimming the lights. You can turn on a reading light using the controls above your head or in your arm.
They're all from, mine are from the Phoenix livery manager ferry, so yeah, they're all from there. I've done that as well. Right out, let's get that down, look at those on. Right, a bit behind the curve. Set that for engine warm-up time. It's one thing I do not like, is being behind the aircraft and that feeling of being rushed. That's when things get dangerous. Let me turn on ATC comms if you can't already hear that. Let me know if it's too loud. Any Unicom. So we are clear left side, we are clear right side. Brake is released, let's go. Brake check, pressure 0. Gareth, what's the furthest flight I do? They're getting further and further away actually, with the new destinations coming in. I do fly the 321 NX as well. Also the 319. So the 319 obviously got quite long range. EGPH is, I'm just trying to think. Oh, Vista is coming on to the destination list as well, but yeah, Egypt's probably, Hurghada's probably the long one. Regularly do Tel Aviv, pretty long. We've got the hot spot over here. We are in clear. We are clear right side and clear left side. Cabin organised. Drop the lights down, not turn them on. And on TCAS now as well, so we've got a view of the approach. Incoming in. Engine warm-up time has elapsed.
Cabin crew, seats for takeoff.
Cabin moved up. Have a quick look at that spy. Nothing to affect our departure. All flights we take sufficient fuel to return without refueling. That's not really common practice these days. It's bit of typical fuel burns now. You're taking 8 or 9 tons. You can do most of the schedule probably with my operator on tankering. Not Hogada though. Inefficient way to operate really, is carrying that extra weight around. Sean, have you always flown the A320 family? I have. No problem at all for the videos, glad it's helping. So, approach is clear. We'll get our strobes on, entering the runway, and we'll clear ourselves out. Get the packs off. Time to transition those valves. Cabin crew, seats for takeoff, please. And runway's clear. Alias, in the sim, I only really use Navigraph or my real world pad, real world charts. Okay. Quick scan around. Take off. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let's go. Engine stable. A issue there with the throttles. Mantoga SRS runway. Auto thrust. 100 knots. 1 rotate. Good climb. Gear up. Nav. AP1. Lever climb. Get that nose to come down a bit to get the positive speed trend. There it is. Thrust climb, auto thrust. One on. And back 2. And there's our speed. HX flap 0. So, terrain level of details at 400, object level of detail here is at 200, which is the maximum it will allow me. Everything else is ultra clouds and the like.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend you keep your
We're
seatbelt
drifting out because high speed for that term.
located.
Pre-selected speed is the one to cure that one. Video on that if you haven't already seen it.
Just a few moments, you will commence.
So intentions, yeah, that's one I haven't explored yet. Speed up start, altitude constraint here. Let's just have a look for any ATC before I clear ourselves up further. Looking good. Let's dial in 320. Bus climb, open climb, 320, 32,000, standard. 320 blue. And passing 6 now, cross checked. Getting a bit dark, isn't it? Okay, you worked as a ramp dispatch for Swiss Sports. Very interesting. There's plenty that goes on behind the scenes, as I'm sure you're aware. It is definitely a team effort making the flight work. Passing 10. So we can clear out our radnav. Haven't put anything in there. Secondary. We can delete secondary. Copy active. Look at our cruising level. So that's achievable. Not lower than our optimum. That's what operations are giving us today. And seatbelts. Stable and we're above that cloud layer, so we'll take the seatbelts off. Here's the cabin. Very nice clouds. I've noticed an improvement with the clouds with the new graphics card. Gareth tend to do most of the hand flying either on departure or on the approach. That's fine with my carrier. Obviously we can't do that in RVSM airspace, but typically above 24.5. But yeah, it's always on the approach or the departure segments we do a hand flying. But definitely do enough of it to keep the skills sharp. Getting a little bit dark. The time ticks on. Nice time of day to fly though, with the sunset effect. yes, do I have any problems flying on a relatively small monitor? Well, people swear on these huge TVs to flight simming. The monitor I've got now, I had kind of now. I had a widescreen monitor, and that didn't work well for streaming. There's the aspect ratio of the monitor, so this one works. It's a decent monitor. I've got, does the job. Do I have any problems with it? No. Do I feel I'm missing anything? No. So no, I haven't really. I guess if I had a home cockpit, if you like, if I built something and I was sitting in it, and you want a larger screen in front of you. But this one's doing the job. So no issues really. Just get used to what you got, don't you? I guess in terms of it becomes normal after a while. He gave me a laptop and I was looking at that eventually. I think it's normal. Cloud Simulator's doing a good job. Dome light on a little bit so it doesn't, panels don't get too dark for you on screen. I would like, chatting about it in Discord with some of the members and that, but would like to build a home cockpit just for the challenge. I quite like the idea of that. Chris, how did you configure your new GPU? Yes, I did use my my ChatGPT quite a bit in terms of settings. It was quite helpful. I was nervous about switching over from NVIDIA. It wasn't so much from the graphics point of view, but from a streaming point of view. So the NVIDIA cards are generally better at streaming. Okay, am I losing anything? Is this? Am I getting worked up about nothing, or are we just looking at really fine detail? But it did take some time. I thought I'd be up and running within a few hours. But 3 days later, that wasn't the case. But I had a few issues with screen tearing I had to sort out. So there's a bit of trial and error going on. ChatGPT, it's pretty helpful with those kind of things. I'm not a computer expert. I probably could class myself now as a computer expert. Having, I think anyone in the flight simulator world now is a computer expert. These settings we tweak and learn about. If I roll back a couple of years, I didn't know a thing about computers, and now I'm building my own. And that's because of flight sim. Yep, so this is max setting, max detail cloud, so it's as good as I can get a 7900 XTX in flight sim to make clouds look. So but this, for me now, this experience in the simulator is best I have had since, at any point really in simming. And I suppose it should be because of the investment made in terms of hardware. But I'm pleased that I did take the route to go down for a 24GB card. To be honest, I was thinking about going for 4090. Even looking at the 5 Series NVIDIA cards, well, I was getting annoyed with NVIDIA holding stock, forcing prices up. It was frustrating, man. You know what? Let's give this a go. Touch wood, no AMD driver crashes, but it's been a really good experience, to be honest. I'm not regretting it at all yet. But this is the first stream, remember? So this is the first time we have streamed on the AMD card. Gareth, once descending to Gatwick, about 10,000, the plane suddenly banked left quite severely before levelling off and correcting course. Could that have been a wake turbulence event? Wake turbulence event, you usually get quite a lot of yaw. It's usually very juddery rather than complete push of the aircraft. So it's a little bit like going through cross speed bumps in the air. Generally, I'd be surprised if that's wake turbulence push and wing. It's not. You know, you could be following an A380 into Gatwick. You know, can't rule it out, but you know, it was a hard bank. Unlikely, I would say, to be wake turbulence. Get a real good feel for wake turbulence when you're doing your pilot's training. So when you're doing general aviation, you do a 360 loop and fly around into your own wake. That's when that'll be your first experience of wake turbulence. For various reasons in training, you do a lot of 360s. And you're coming back around into your own wake. Yeah, even in a general aviation aircraft, it's quite a kick. Know about it. Maybe the pilot landed on the side stick and the autopilot disengaged. Yeah, I think that's unlikely as well, because how we're trained and where we're trained to sort of rest our hands, and we're aware of that. Sure, Chris. Yeah, well, I did put the them on one stage, put it on 2 stages. That kind of time of day where start doing a few bits. Once it gets properly dark, we'll be alright, because that balance of light is sort of getting dark behind us, light in front of us. So things are on actually pretty maxed out, but it's coming through on the stream so well, I guess. Once it gets a bit darker, you'll see the cockpit lighting kick in. I think it's because we've got this strong glare through the reflection of the clouds as well. So we've got a bit of brightness there as well on the outside, making the inside look a bit darker. So passing 31432. Inbound Pole Hill. Going over Trent. Manchester coming up on the left side. Doesn't look like we're going to see Manchester today. I have flown earlier, so I've flown the DA40 in training, and also in my capacity as a single engine piston instructor, which I still do in my free time, keeping that up. I do keep that going. Back up start, The DA40 is a nice turbo diesel engine. A very recognisable aircraft here in the air. There was one over my house earlier actually, and well, there's a DA40. Like old cruise. Always know when there's a DA40 flying over. 320, we could put the ECAS into below, traffic above 320. Obviously we're thinking about the decompression and the possibility of going down. Scanning through our pages here. All looking good. Fuel, let's check fuel here, 13 minutes. Tons. Good. You did wave, Chris. Thank you. Card over here, giving it something to think about. Nope, someone else. Who's that? Rocketing along. That's somebody on fast forward, isn't it? Someone's just. It's either that or it's a Eurofighter, but someone's just. Probably one of these A350s with their simulator. Hazards. And yes, could I do a video about call-outs during a flight? So, for example, engine starts, takeoff, different approach types. Possibly, I'll have a think about that. Think about the best way of operating that one. Right, we do actually need to think about going down. Believe it or not. I have seen that video, Gareth. Turbulence. Let's just double check on. So I might even have some actually. See, we've got the ATC on. I'm going right onto. It was earlier. I've gone to sleep. Yeah, looks like they're actually on 2-4. I think we're going to go for. Which is the more scenic approach bridge there out on the water. 2-1. So throw that in now. Landing weights, what have we got? 64.3 currently. We have 2008. Just say half an hour. Fuel burn of 2 tons an hour. So come down. 63.3. 63.5 because we'll use less fuel in descent. No water brake, does the job. Idle reverse gets us in. Winds on the nose. Before that was giving us 06 previously. That wouldn't work well. No water brake low. And we'll start getting our data in. 021. 13 degrees, 2209. We want repeat. I do need to actually, before I do this, I need to reconfigure flight plan for 24. Dip Monaco remains back into Perth. Yeah, it is a strange thing where you can sort of jump outside and have a look at your plane. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Live stream earlier, so the focus on call outs. Yeah, okay. Sure, we can sort that one out. Dark Angel, thank you Captain for all your tutorials, a great help in learning to pilot the A320 in depth. You are more than welcome, absolutely, that's no problem at all. Appreciate the kind words. Here we required a manual sheet on the load. Probably not anymore. Surprise me. Be far from our top of descent now. Are you sending us messages? Easy ups. 65-minute delay. Ouch. Looking on that one. So we're going to be ILS Cat 1 approach into runway 24 config full for landing. We've checked out our stop margins. Reverse idle was what we calculated for, and auto brake low. We will be vacating left because, to be frank, vacating right will not work very well. Let's have a look. Our charts, airport. So yeah, probably here at Bravo. If we auto brake low, idle reverse, we may even be all the way to the end. So here we go. So our sector altitudes here, so we're 3,000 on the approach segment. If we go around, we're into 3,900, and if we have another attempt, it's basically 3,900 feet. So if we come in here, with the engine out, I want to be 3,900 feet. Quick review of our descent phase now as well. Mach 78252. Speed up and go at 280 in descent. Constraints on now, there's got a few to do here. 260 in hip is the next one. So no non-standard ups for this one. That's sim uncontrolled is a threat. Approach minimum 300 is in. And the go around trajectory. Straight ahead here, so straight ahead to 3,000 then as directed. Fuel, extra quarter of an hour in there, so looking okay at the moment. So dialing in a 260, managed descent, Mach descent, 260 blue. Cabin crew, double descent. That was a interesting bump. Did see, sorry, I hope I pronounced that right. You only fly the Fenix in 2020, is it worth to upgrade to 2024? I'll put it this way, I don't have any issues in 2024, but I'm running high specs. I have a very powerful internet connection, a gigabyte upload, download. So it depends on your personal situation in regards to those things. But you know, as I mentioned, I'm currently having my best flight sim experience ever in this simulator with this aircraft. And it's only getting better. So we've got a traffic situation, Edinburgh. 2 ahead of us. We're going. The traffic from Gatwick. Gone very quiet on sim, isn't it? Chris, thank you. Yes, channel membership is actually it's going really strongly. We've had a lot of new members into channel membership, so welcome to all the new channel members. You do get access to members-only content there and early access to the latest content, and they're making content quite regularly at the moment, so holding the price of their membership down at $2.99, so no plans to change that. So do check that out. And keep our descent going down now. 200. Slow descent, 200 blue. That's normally is the case. If we're complying with the approach as it is, we generally need a bit of speed brake action here. Certainly after S-low. Yes, there is a link for the fondue fund. I should rename that. You can rename Buy Me a Coffee to Buy Me. I should rename it Buy Me a Fondue. For those that aren't familiar, I often spend some time working in Geneva, out of Geneva, the base, depending on company requirements. But I do also hold a Swiss passport, and all just works very well. But while I'm out there, I do enjoy a bit of fondue. Right, how are we doing on ice? Engine anti-ice on. Buy me a fondue. Very good, Chris. Actually, there's been a few super chats and things come through, so I really do appreciate the support. And again, thank you to all the new channel members. Great clouds here, nice colours. Out. Very fast idle open descent now. Let's maintain profile a bit. Bit of chasing to do. I'll use a bit of speed brake action now to help us with that. Yeah, if you got the good internet, and you can see the performance I'm getting here. You see, so, and I'm streaming as well, remember, so I've got extra burden on the PC. I don't have a separate PC for streaming. It's all been handled by the same PC. Wait to get our weather radar. I thought we'd have the Neo by now, to be honest. Just something in my mind thought over Easter. Thought I'd be coming back off holiday to a nice new Fenix Neo. The Neo is where I probably spend around about 70% of my flying time now. Found it, Terry. Excellent. Plus the stream still keeps stalling. I'm not showing any issues here. Drop frames. It's currently pumping out at 60 FPS. It's not alerting me to anything here, Chris. 30,000 bits per second, but it's pretty stable. It's pumping out my end. So, is anyone else having any issues? Right, the profile's coming back in. Okay, Ted's no issues. Sorry, Chris, it's at your end. Got me worried there. I thought I had to throw this AMD card in the bin. Okay, seatbelts. Crew landing in 10 minutes. Okay, we made the restriction 70, we're going to bring our speed back now. 30 knots. Just crossing the decel point. Yep. Out. Speed brakes. Come back in. Clear of the clouds, so get the engine anti-ice off. Two ahead, so we've got one on TCAS, was just there, getting into the up to turn final. Going down, and 1021 set. Passing. F1 now, cross checked 3 times. Simon, hello to you. Currently en route to Bergen from Stockholm. I'm watching your stream. We have to speak to ATC. Excellent. Sounds like a good route. Ted, I'll still need to set it up, to be honest. I think it was just a suggestion to do Edinburgh, I think back down to Luton or somewhere, so still need to plan it. It was in the members chat. I'll have to go back to Bolts and Alaric on that one. Approach checklist, bar over 1021 set cross-checked, seat belts are on, minimums 300 sets, speed up star. Auto brake is set as low, approach checklist complete. I start to come back on the speed now. Activator approach phase. Back down to green dots initially. Then you 4,000 blue. Flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. Simon put in the actual heading for that.
Cabin crew must now be seated for landing. Thank you.
The actual heading from the charts. Our airport over there. And we can on the approach. Pre-dual, autopilot 1 and 2. Lock start. Speed out star. Flaps 2, speed checks, flaps 2. That runway. Flyer slips coming down. A slip start. Gear down. Up, crash. Not good. Sorry, guys. That's annoying. That is annoying. It came up with a driver fault. So it's crashed us out. Actually said graphics card overheating. I think that's the case. Let me bring up the Sapphire Nitro info. I'll monitor. Yeah, we're cards at 50 degrees. That's annoying. That is annoying. It's a complete game crash actually. I've got nothing. It was indeed going so well. But yeah, I've lost complete control of the only Streamlabs is working. So I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to have to dive back into it, but I have to test out. That hasn't happened to me on sort of test flights. There's something perhaps on a longer flight that may be impacting it. Definitely something. It comes up with the same fault though, so I need to check that one out and resume. So. Unfortunate timing though. Very unfortunate timing. It's all going so well. It's so smooth though, so it's literally, I've got it locked to 72 frames, no issues, and then bang, it just doesn't like it. There's something there. I have to uncover that. But yeah, Simon is still sticking to 2020. This is something to do with the new graphics setup. So this is a new problem for me. So this is something to do with how I'm running the sim at the moment. So we nearly made it, but yeah, lost all control of the sim there. So oh. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it there for now. I need to go away and diagnose what's happened and try and get some error logs out of the system. But to be honest, the performance-wise, so if I bring up Sapphire Nitro screen. I mean, we'll be cooling down now anyway, but there's nothing in there in terms of load which is going to be causing us issues with the card. So it's something strange there. I need to diagnose. It was a nice stream, but it's kind of frustrating. This one's really frustrating because I could understand it if it was under stress. But it's not under stress. Something's triggered that, so I'm going to go away and diagnose that one, see if I can pull an error log out, and hopefully we can get back into streaming and can uncover what caused that and get going again. So thanks very much for joining me though. I appreciate the company. It was good to hear from you. It's been a long time, so a bit more work to do on the system by the looks of it. So I'll keep you updated how I get on with that. But in the meantime, has everyone's got any ideas and similar problems, do let me know. But I will dig through the system and update in Discord, and hopefully get to speak to you all again very soon. So I'll need to do another test stream anyway. So hopefully it doesn't get to this point and crash, because this is I could have accepted it if it was after landing, but I was looking forward to that. So yeah, stiff drink needed indeed, Terry. Yeah, it's I say we've spent lots of time troubleshooting and becoming computer experts, and I will have to learn something new here. But yeah, I will go and have a stiff drink and enjoy a glass of wine or something. Excellent. Again, sorry for that, and I will hopefully get a chance to get back on soon. So, thanks very much for joining me. I wish you a pleasant evening, and I'll catch you all very soon. Take care all.